Hi, I'm Don Bonan from SampleLibraryReview.com. Today we're going to be checking out Carbon by Ujam. Ujam was looking to take their virtual guitar instrument lineup in a new direction, and this time they focused on organic, distorted, and processed rhythm guitar sounds. Now, this is the first Ujam virtual guitar instrument with an instrument mode. Thus far, the virtual guitarists have focused on a player mode. Now you've got a multi-sampled instrument to play right at your keyboard. Library downloads is 4 gigabytes. It's recordings from a modern nu metal 8-string guitar with more than 55 styles, 560 phrases. Like I mentioned, there's an instrument mode with a multi-sampled instrument with different articulations. The player mode, which allows you to trigger riffs and phrases, all tempo sync to your DAW. It's got futuristic amp models, layers, effects, and pre-designed algorithms for effects for you with a finishing preset. There's drag and drop riffs to your DAW, which I'll be interested to check out. Custom riff creation. The library is a VST AU2 and AAX. Normally sells for $129 US. There is a free trial. If you want to go ahead and download it, you can try it out for 30 days. I'll include links to take you straight over to Ujam. I'll also include a link over to our friends over at Plugin Boutique, where if you pick up this instrument there, you'll get some rewards points towards your next purchase. Now, before we jump in here, I just want to do a quick plug here. Sample Library Review is hosting our 2019 Holiday Sales Guide. This is one page that will be sharing listings for every Black Friday, holiday, Christmas, New Year's sale for the next 8 weeks. All of the deals that make our radar from sample developers as well as plugin manufacturers, all on one page, updated daily. I'll include a link to take you straight over to Sample Library Review's Holiday Sales Guide in the link below. This is a first look, although, to be honest, I've played around with it a little bit already. I'm having a lot of fun with this library. Really fun right out of the gate, easy to get guitar sounds, made really for people who aren't guitarists because of the way that I believe it's set up. You can see we've got the two instruments, the player and the instruments functions. So the player plays back phrases, and then we've got all of these different phrase styles. Remember I said there was like 500 and some odd phrase styles. So I think let's go through and listen to a bunch of phrases to get a feel for the instrument first. Okay, one thing I've got the instrument, I've got my DAW at 120, so let's go ahead and bring it to the suggested preset of 80 BPM. Now, one thing to note here is that I've got the ability to play single notes. All I've been doing is playing this one note. Let's go to chords, and I'll play kind of like a little rhythm. One note here is the phrases seem to continue on unless I hit that low C, C1 for my silence. Also important to note that we've got looks like ways to automatically force key signatures. Let's check out a few more of these. Now, these are just the common phrases. I guess the stylistic phrases recorded in this for this style here. Let's try them out. You also get this F3 here as a stop key for stylistic phrases. Let's jump back to that first one and listen to those style phrases because I skipped that somehow. Again, you got to hit the stop if you're triggering phrases. That's not the one I had. I had this one loaded up. Let's move on to some. Let's jump up into the high speed stuff. Let's change our DAW to 160. And let's also note that the factory presets, I believe, are for the sound of the engine. Right now we're set up on this Welcome to Hell. Let's go to something a little more hard rock, see what this sounds like. And I do like how they have end for common phrases. One thing I'm noticing here too, if I'm overlapping notes, both chords are playing sometimes, so you have to really lift your finger up off the keyboard or cut your MIDI note off so that you don't have two phrases going on. Let's go ahead and listen to some more of the styled phrases. Yeah, I'm starting to get a feel for how to play around with this. Right away, I'm thinking I wish I would have liked to have seen some way to at least show me some kind of rhythmic notation. But again, that's just my point of view here. Would have liked to have seen something instead of just guessing what's going to happen next every time I load up a new phrase. Wow, that must be this finisher mode. Again, we'll get to the finisher and we'll listen through a bunch of these. I'm just more interested in hearing some of the style phrases right now. Now I'm at 160, so I'm going to bring it back to their suggested tempo, 124. Yeah, I like the end phrase, being able to just stop with a downbeat. That's really nice. Okay, this one's at 160. I'm adjusting my DAW. I'm going to go ahead and do this one at 160 to start with. And 170. Eighter's gonna 8. That's cute. I'm starting to get a feel for how it's playing back. The combination between style phrases and factory, as well as your own ability to create your own user presets, really makes this so much further out than a loop library, because you're affecting and controlling every single aspect of not only when and how you're playing different phrases versus common phrases, adding endings. I love these little shreds. And from that, I could listen to that and say, well, that's not nearly chunky enough. And just go to these different presets. They have them all on the way. All right, let's check out the instrument. This is a multi-sampled instrument. So again, we've got the ability to completely reshape the sound and tone and layers, adding these effects. But it looks like the way they've got it built is there's an articulation switcher down here. It looks like we've got legato on and off. And then the short notes to longest notes across the keyboard. We still got our shreds, which is cool. And this I love. This is what I was asking for on the other instrument, I guess. Just the ability to kind of have an idea of what is going on when I place a phrase. And here we're triggering quarters, eighths, and sixteenths. And this is cool because you can also change your articulation for shorts or longs for those different sounds across the keyboard. Now, note here, this is made for a rhythm guitar, so we go to F sharp 6. Which doesn't get us up there where we do the super high lead raging guitars. I think the next thing we should do is kind of dig in and listen to the sounds along the way. If I didn't mention it, it looks like the finisher is set up with the mod wheel here. Okay, I've got a little phrase I recorded just playing in on the fly, freehand, with Carbon. You can hear it here. And what I heard right away is some of it lined up, some of it didn't. One of the things that Carbon allows, it looks like the latch will control, so your MIDI will actually line up on the next downbeat. So, of course, that's very important. I'm going to utilize this phrase on repeat here just for us to listen through a bunch of presets. I'm just going to play around with doubling, tripling, quadrupling, layering, distance, speed, the finishing modes, as well as the different conditionings. So I'm just going to let this phrase repeat while I do that so we can hear some of the different sounds Carbon offers. right, very cool. So we could hear there's all kinds of stuff going on, all kinds of equalization and delay, lots of different lo-fi, distortions, bit crushing, comb filters, some cab emulation, I believe, chorus phasers, and these gators, which I think are going to be a lot of fun with this kind of sound, because I think you'll be able to morph a little bit. Also heard a really cool delay, this stairway, I believe it was. Let's see if I can find it. Staircase, there we go. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of find a way to listen through some of the different effects, the way they've got this made up, because it doesn't have a traditional effects engine, effects rack, or pedal board like you would get with so many virtual instruments. Instead, they've kind of got it so it's kind of made for not thinking like a guitarist, which I think will be really helpful in some cases. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day here to check out Ujam's new Carbon. Pretty cool stuff. I like the sound. It is, I don't know, they have tried to market this as a sound design scoring tool. I could be missing something. I mean, maybe if you whack out some of the finishing modes a little harder, you're gonna get sound design. But for my money, I'd say this is a heavy, hard, metal-ish guitar with sound design possibilities. Sure, it's going to be great for all kinds of rockin' stuff or scoring stuff that needs rock guitars. And I think the way they built this whole engine as a loop phrase player as well as an instrument, that's pretty cool. I think that you'll be able to get a lot of use out of it. I think I'm getting a lot of use out of it already. I already started a couple tracks. A lot of fun. Thanks for taking a little time here to check out the video. Tell me what you think about Ujam's new Carbon. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts about these libraries as they come out, so I can figure out what to review in the future, what will be more helpful and useful for all of us. Like, share, and subscribe. Always love your support. And be sure to head over to samplelibraryreview.com for the latest news, reviews, and our weekly deals page.